Hello there and welcome to my channel. I am so excited to have you here with me today. My name is Kaylee and I'm a freelance makeup artist, esthetician, and all-around beauty hack and product lover. I am so excited to get started in today's video. I am actually doing a client application for you. This is my first one I'm posting on YouTube, so I'm really excited about it. So this client is special to me. Her name is Courtney, and she is not only a client of mine, but she is a dear, dear friend of mine. I love her to pieces. So I have been doing Courtney's makeup for the past three and a half-ish years now, every few months, and it is always a blast. I love it. So this time she had some modeling photos that she needed to do. Of course, it was so much fun, but I was also so grateful that she let me bring my camera and record the process for you. The look we did today was very feminine, very soft, flirty, but it also was a little bit sultry. Just had a little pop right around the eye. I absolutely loved it. So if you'd be interested in watching that, let's get started. Oh, by the way, I have to say, my friend Mary, she's here on YouTube and she's also a dear friend of mine in real life, but she was the one who gave me the inspiration to do a little sit down intro right before jumping into the client. She has an awesome channel. I highly recommend checking her out because she rocks these client makeup tutorials. I'm just a little baby trying to figure it out, but I had a lot of fun with it and I could definitely see way more of these videos coming. Anyways, let's get started. Let's roll back the camera and do some makeup. All right, I'm gonna prep Courtney's skin with a little bit of bioderma micellar water. This brand bioderma is my favorite. And then I'm gonna go over with a little bit of Embryolisse moisturizer. This is so good for dry skin under makeup. It preps the skin so well. And of course, I'm using the original matte Tarte Shape Tape concealer on the lids to help cancel out any tones and also make our eyeshadow last longer. Just use a very small amount and it will be budge proof. And of course, you gotta set it. A little bit of RCMA because it's easy and close by. Now I'm using the Viseart Grande Pro eyeshadow palette and I'm gonna be using the top row. So I am using the top second shade. It is nearly undetectable. I mean, as you can see, well, that's the point. You can't see. It nearly just blends right into her skin, and that's the point, but it's going to give a very, very subtle and gradual blend into the deeper shades that we're about to go in with. So I love to take my time. I am fluffing all over. I'm not being precise. I'm using a fluffy brush. We're just going to town. Next, I'm going in with a medium fluffy brush and the top third shade, so just slightly darker. And I'm going over the same areas that I did before with the lighter shade. However, because I'm using the smaller brush, that precision work is already done for me. And I'm really focusing this on the top of her lid, right in the center there. I'm really exaggerating that arch, those windshield wiper motions, and this is gonna give us a rounded doll eye effect, which is exactly what we were going for with Courtney today. One of my favorite tricks, go back in with your fluffy brush, go in with translucent powder or the lightest shade in your palette and erase any of those lines that meet the bare lid to the eyeshadow. This is going to soften the look again, make it just very blown out, very soft. My favorite kind of eyeshadow. Now I'm going back in with my fluffy blending brush in the deepest top row shade, and I'm just going to press and pack it into the outer corner. I'm not worrying about blending. I don't want to blow this color out too much. I want to be a little bit more precise. So I'm just going to press and pack it onto the outer corner. And we're going to blend it in just a minute. All right, now here we are with blending on a clean brush, and I'm just blending the edges out right there. But as you can see, this diffuses the color. However, it's not blowing it out. It's still keeping it pretty precise. Okay, now we need to deepen it up. So we're going in with a very small blending brush with that deep shade, and I'm packing it. I am gonna blend it a little bit, but not too much. And then of course, oh, I need to brighten up the lid with the lightest shade in the palette. Oh my gosh, I haven't done a voiceover client like this kind of a video before. It's hard. Okay, Benefit Cookie Highlighter, you guys. It is such a good eyeshadow. I actually don't use it a ton for the face because it is so intense, but oh my gosh, on the eye, it is one of my most favorite eyeshadows, so I use it all the time. And I did spritz my brush with a little bit of Skindinavia Bridal Spray for longevity, and then also to help make the shadow pop a little bit more. And it is going to grab onto the shimmer, so I don't have as much fallout throughout the day. But Benefit Cookie, you guys, such a good eyeshadow shade. Now, one of my favorite tricks I learned from a fellow makeup artist who's been in the game a lot longer than me was when you clean up that under eye, use a very lightweight moisturizer instead of a makeup remover. That way you don't remove the moisturizer you put on and you're going to add a little extra boost. Just make sure it is lightweight. You want it to be very thin, just so that you don't have so much buildup of oil underneath the eyes. Sometimes I do use the Embryolisse too, though, in just a small amount. All right, foundation time. I usually use the Nars Natural Radiant Foundation, but I love to mix just a hint of Face Atelier foundation in with it. It's a pro brand and it is absolutely beautiful. It has a lot of silicones in it. So a little bit of it mixed in with Longwear foundations will make it sit on the skin beautiful. And as you can see, oh my gosh, I am so confused about this microfiber sponge. I keep trying to figure out, why is this not budging? I don't know what the deal is with a microfiber sponge, but I'm going to figure it out. I was not ready for it though. It actually took a lot of work to blend that foundation into the skin. But we made it work. And then I love to take the leftover foundation, mix it in with some body moisturizer to sheer it out on a fluffy brush and go all over the neck and chest. This just helps give you a very seamless blend from the face all the way down to her chest. And of course, concealer. I'm only using a shade that's a little bit lighter than the rest of her face, just a little pop of brightening. And this is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Love it. It's so beautiful under the eyes and it gives a really good amount of coverage, but it's not very heavy or drying. I'm going to put a little bit on the center of her chin for just a little pop. And then I'm also going to put a little bit on her forehead, just the center of the forehead. But I'm going to leave the nose bare. I have been enjoying not having extra concealer on the nose lately. I just find it looks a little bit lighter and there's less product to move around, if that makes sense, or to get wiped off. I'm just taking the leftover product and gradually fading it out on the corners. And back in with that microfiber sponge that I do not know how to work with. I'm actually going to start by blending the outer perimeters of the concealer first. This way we get a gradual blend. And then the inner portions of the concealer, I'm going to let those dry actually a little bit so we get more coverage and more of that brightening. I love this trick. Okay, I caved. I went in with a little bit of my Sally Hansen's disposable sponge. They're vitamin E infused, dampened with water, right on that inner corner, just so I didn't have to be as aggressive with blending like I was with the microfiber one. Okay. One of my favorite products of 2021, the Danessa Myricks Balm Contours. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I actually just go on the face with a little bit of product and a powder brush. And you can just kind of buff and blend this into the skin as if it were powder. It's magic. It's so emollient. I love it so much. I think I'm going to do a whole video on that product alone. And then as a finishing touch, a little bit of a sponge press always goes a long way. I don't mind going a little bit darker with my cream bronzer because I'm going to put powder over it. So it will sheer it out just a little bit. The Hourglass translucent? The Hourglass Veil Loose Powder. I don't think it's translucent because it does brighten up the skin actually. But that underneath the eye is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And because it is A little bit brightening, I did put it on the chin and the center of the forehead just to help blend that area in with the under eye. RCMA, no color powder, a staple all over the rest of the face. I just stamp it in. I don't want to buff it too much. I don't want to disturb it. A little pressy press with the sponge and onto our cream contour on the nose. Again, we're using the Danessa Myricks Balm Contour. And I'm going all the way up to the brow as well. I'm not doing anything too structured, but I do want the inner portions of her face to be cohesive and balanced with the perimeter of the face as well. Little press, press, press with RCMA No Color again. Even though it's no color, I find it still does sheer out my bronzer underneath a tiny bit. Okay, we're just dabbing a small fluffy brush in a whole bunch of those top colors and going all the way from inner corner to outer corner, making sure that outer corner does match up with the shadow up top. Of course, I have to stamp over the edge with a little bit of powder, again, so it's so seamless. Oh my gosh, look at the Milani blush. Look at the glow. Can you see that glow on her cheekbone right there? I love Milani. So does everybody else in the world, I feel like. Such a pretty blush. And lately, I've been taking my blush up to the temples a little bit more. And I've really been enjoying that. I'm going to set and enhance the cream bronzer with just a little bit of Hourglass bronzer. And then, of course, I like to drench the skin with some setting spray. The Skindinavia Bridal Setting Spray is so good, and it really does give you a beautiful glow while giving you the longevity. Ardell 421s, you guys, that is where it's at. They're worth the hype. Beautiful, beautiful, natural looking lashes. Okay, so for Courtney, we went with a bold brow today. I'm an esthetician and I actually used to do Courtney's brows just right up until recently. I used to wax them and tint them and laminate them, so do the perming for the brows. And I loved being able to do her brows. She always loved a full, just a statement brow. It was a lot of fun. However, I just recently stopped because makeup is taking over my life. So it was fun to be able to play with her brow again. Have a little bit of fun with that. And the Anastasia brow powders, they're just so versatile, so easy. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of leftover concealer, just kind of clean up the inner corner of her brow, but I want to keep the outer corner pretty fluffy. Of course, we have to apply a little bit of mascara to the top and bottom lashes to help blend, and it's my favorite part of the makeup process. The Hourglass Veil, what is that? Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. Oh my gosh. I have to go over every line of the face. Any potential line of the face gets a dusting of this, as well as I take the lightest shade in the palette and dust it right under that eye area for a little extra brightening. This gives you the most beautiful, angelic, soft focus effect. I cannot do a makeup application without this. And it makes every colored product under it seamless. I have to go over the lash band with these Ardell lashes that have the plastic Invisiband with a little bit of black shadow, just so we don't get any sort of reflection. And this is it. I did apply some nude gloss. I don't know what happened to that clip. Oh my goodness. Isn't she so pretty? She pulls off any look so well. I love doing her makeup. And yes, if you couldn't tell by now, she is actually a professional model, a legitimate model. So she knows what to do in front of the camera. What did you think of this look? Oh my goodness, I had so much fun doing it. I'm definitely going to make more client tutorials. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more of these videos to come. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you later.